Podcast number 1 is The Game by Alex Hormozi. Now, Alex comes with a wealth of knowledge, and his expertise in marketing, business, and sales, he's really compiled all into this short and very succinct podcast, going from somewhere between 50 around 45 minutes on the longer episodes too. This podcast covers marketing, covers direct one-to-one selling, content creation as well, and business practices. Why could this be applicable to jewelry sales training? Well, it's going to give you a better understanding about marketing. And this podcast really emphasizing the point of marketing. Well, the more brand messaging you understand, the easier it's going to be for you to be able to convert people when they come into your store asking about Cartier, Van Cleef & Arpels, Tiffany jewelry, maybe it's a watch store that you're also working in with Rolex. That way you understand brand messaging and how marketing gets that person to walk into your store. This is going to allow you to close so many more sales. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about Alex Hormozi, I would also recommend picking up his book, $100 Million Offers. Now, this book is full of a lot of information. But one of my favorite parts about this book is when he talks about the perfect offer. And the perfect offer, he explains it in this way. If I had a Ferrari and I was going to sell you this Ferrari for $10,000, could you or would you find that money? Of course, you definitely would, especially if you believed it was a real Ferrari. You would find money somehow to be able to buy it because you know it's worth at least 30 or 40 times the money that you've placed into that product. Now, by thinking about this, how could you apply that to the jewelry that you sell? By understanding how much value you really have behind that piece when you're presenting it to that person, so you genuinely believe that what they're paying for it is a lot less than what it is actually worth. Now, the second podcast is Sell It Like Serhant. Now, that is by Ryan Serhant. Now, Ryan Serhant was the famous guy that was on $1 Million Listings, and I think he still is on there now as well at the moment. He's actually a real estate agent, but he's also gone into educating people on how to sell more things than just real estate alone. His podcasts are nice because they're quite short, somewhere between, in some cases, 5 minutes going up to about 15 minutes on the longer podcasts. These podcasts are great if you don't have a lot of time, but you are wanting some knowledge and maybe some motivation from someone that really knows what they're talking about and has had a lot of success when it comes into selling to the extremely wealthy. Now, the extremely wealthy because he sells real estate in New York City, mainly, but also in many other parts around the United States too. Now, real estate, especially the high-end real estate he sells, is really going to attract the same type of people that like higher end pieces of jewelry. So the information that he mentions in his podcast is very applicable when it comes into being able to sell jewelry as well. Now, my favorite book that he's written is also called Sell It Like Serhant. Now, this book, it has, and mainly is focused into real estate, but there is quite a bit of information in his book that's applicable outside of that too. And also understanding the context of real estate and how you can take that information and apply it to jewelry also is pretty simple and straightforward. So I'd also recommend picking up that book too. Now, the third and final podcast is the Cardone Zone. Now, I know many people might or might not like Grant Cardone and his style, but he is one of the most successful sales trainers in the United States. Now, his podcast covers so many different topics, from business planning overall, going all the way into marketing, sales, but his podcasts are definitely on the longer side of things, going from an hour to, in some cases, even an hour and a half. But the information that he provides is going to help you prepare yourself, because maybe you are selling jewelry at the moment to make more commissions, to be able to do something else, open your own business, or maybe you want to start looking at what you're doing as your own business already. Grant Cardone's podcasts are definitely going to help you achieve that too. And my book recommendation from him is Sell or Be Sold. Now, Sell or Be Sold is a big book, but for a big reason. The information in this book basically emphasizes the fact that you need to be so sold on your product, because many people are going to come in and they might tell you, I go to other jewelers, this place, or this this place, but how sold you really are on what you sell is going to make a big difference in the way you communicate, especially when it comes into higher priced items like jewelry. Stop being like others, be like you. Now, what does this mean? Don't follow the path of everyone. Have you walked into other jewelry stores? Have you seen the normal